Welcome to your workout. My name is Wes Peterson. I'm a Bowflex fitness advisor, and I'm here to take you through your workout today. And I'm not by myself. I got my friends Trey and Katie. You guys ready to do this?
We're ready.
Excellent. So we're going to go through a workout today, and we want you guys to start by hitting manual, enter, and then start. Let's do that now. Now, today's workout is going to be a little bit more endurance-based, and that means that we're going to go getting your heart rate up a little bit. You'll get a little bit breathy, and then we'll drop it down a little bit. Here's the challenge. Don't go too hard, but we're never going to go too easy. So what I want you guys to start by doing is going forward with your motion. The way you'll know that on your screen, you're going to have your arrows pointed up. You see that right there, Trey?
I see it.
Perfect. So we're going to spend 2 minutes here in just an easy type of an effort. This should be fat burn type of intensity, and on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 3 or a 4. So these first couple minutes, it should be feeling like you can just breathe really easily through your nose. Nice long inhale, nice long exhale. And during this time, you can really spend a little bit of time getting your feet set on those pads, and it should just feel comfortable more than anything else. With your upper body, you can get used to that push and pull motion, and that's what should be happening right now to warm up a little bit of your shoulders as well as a little bit of your back. You guys have been going for about 30 seconds, and my goal is simple for you. Find a little bit of a steady state and just kind of enjoy it here. Trey, how's this feeling for you so far?
Feels good.
Easy and relaxed. That's what we want the entire time. And the good news is that this is going to be a full body workout the entire time. We're going to bring your heart rate up slowly during this warm up. And that's exactly what a warm up should be. It should literally be warming you up from the inside out. Now, coming up in about 10 seconds, we're going to switch you out of this intensity and we're going to move with a different direction. Katie, Trey, we're going to take our motion into reverse, which means that those arrows on the screen, they're going to be starting to point down. Let's go there right now. Good. So there's a little motion to reverse that direction. Then you're going to feel some different muscles the entire time. And this is what really allows us to get prepared for today's workout. And that's really going to be our goal today, changing those positions, going back and forth between forward and backward. In this last minute of our warm-up, we're going to stay in that reverse type of a pattern. Our goal is to continue the warm-up, bringing the breathing and heart rate up very gradually. It should feel the entire time like you could talk. And if you got a really good song on, you could even sing along. At this point on the LX5, we want to feel like we're still using that lateral motion around a 6 or a 7. On the LX3, you guys are already set up in the right place. Now, this should be getting us ready for what our work is going to look like today. And remember, our work is going to be more endurance-based, getting a little bit breathy, never breathless. Guys, you feel like you're ready to go?
Ready.
You feel like we're ready to roll with this? Coming up, the change that we're going to make is we're going to reverse our direction. So remember on the machines, what's going to change is the direction of the arrows. They're going to go from pointing down like they are now to when we go forward, they're going to be pointing up. We're going to stay at this lower type of intensity with a resistance of 1 coming up. So you're going to stay in this pattern, feeling like you can breathe easy the entire time. We'll be moving to that spot in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take that moment. Let's reverse our direction. So we're now going forward. Those arrows on the machine are pointing up, and let's get into this first circuit of work. Now, this circuit of work is very simple. As we move through it, we're just going to be changing the resistance. Our goal is to stay at the same stride width the entire time, just to work a little bit harder. Now, as we continue to move through this section, I want you guys to take your hands into the center position. That means those handles that face one another. Now, as you do that, you should notice that you can start to sit your hips back just a little bit. And as you do that, do you notice that that burn on your legs gets just a little bit higher?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's my challenge for you guys. Every time you're in that center position with your handles, I want you to see how still you can keep your belly button. For those of you that are doing this at home, do the exact same thing. How small of a box can you keep that belly button in? Can you continue doing that even when we take that resistance up? In 3, 2, 1, can you stay there? Can we take that resistance up? We're going to go level 2 with our resistance right now. Now, how does that feel for you guys? Feel a little bit different? Yeah. Good. And that's the lateral component of this work. This is where we get to start to use all those abductor muscles to start to involve some side motion. So you guys are doing great. We should be starting to feel like this is getting to be just a little bit more of a burn on those legs. But we're not done. In about 30 seconds, you're going to change it up one more time, and we're going to ask you to take the resistance up once more. When we do that, I don't want just a little burn in those legs. I want you to create just a little bit of fire there. The heart rate's not going to come up too much, but let's see how much those legs can really handle. You feeling ready for it, Trey?
I'm ready.
Good. We're about 10 seconds away. And you're going to make that slight little change, but keep those hips back the entire time. Katie, he's not going to do the work by himself, is he?
Nope.
All right, we're there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that resistance up one more time. This is your last minute in that center position with your hands. Coming up, we'll move those handles around a little bit. Now, for those of you guys that are doing this work at home, if you could see them the way I get to, they're really in that athletic position. The hips are far back, but they've got a really long line at their spine. So think about trying to keep as much space between your head and your hips as you possibly can. That looks great there, Trey. Now, how light can you be on those hands? I know you want to hold on them and grip really tight, but there you go, picking your fingers up almost like you could play piano. That looks good. So we have a little less than 30 seconds here, and then we're going to back both the resistance down and we're going to change the hand position. Here's the great news. It's going to put a different type of stress on your body. It's going to feel a lot better, I promise. My friends, we're about 15 seconds away. Can you hold that burn just a little bit longer? Good. In about 7 seconds, we're going to come up tall with our hands, and we're also going to change our motion as well. Let's go there right now. I want you guys to take your legs into a reverse type of a motion. The arrows should be pointing down on your screen. Your hands are going to come up high on the grips, and we're going to take your resistance all the way down to level 1. Now, those should be 3 very welcome changes, right, Katie? Big difference here. So my goal for you is simple. Relax your shoulders a little bit. Take a big inhale through your nose, a nice long exhale through your mouth. Get your heart rate as low as you possibly can. Because that type of intensity that we had with our resistance at 2 and eventually at 3, we're going to do again coming up. I had mentioned before to you, today is an endurance day. We're never going to get you breathless, but this should feel like active recovery. You've got about 15 seconds left, and then we're going to change up the intensity just slightly. So it's simple, my friends. All we're going to do is change resistance. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to a level 2 right now with our resistance. Same motion, nice and tall with our grip, shoulders relaxed. And what you guys can experiment with a little bit right now is both the push and pull nature. The great thing about this piece of equipment is that it is full body. It's not just lower body, it's upper body as well. And it's not just a pull, it's also a push. So there could be times where you emphasize more the push to get your shoulders, and other times where you emphasize the pull more to get the back muscles. Do you guys feel like at this point the heart rate's come back down a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Little bit? Good. I don't want that to stay too long. As a matter of fact, in about 25 seconds, we're going to take the resistance up one more time. Now, here's the thing. You at home, you get to do whatever you want. You get to pick the exact resistance. I'm going to give you suggestions, but I want you to have the workout that works best for you. This is your workout, nobody else's. We've got about 10 seconds, and coming up, our switch is simple. We're going to go from a resistance of 2 to resistance of 3. Let's do that right now, team. We're going to get back to that level 3, find a spot where, again, you're starting to work those arms in a consistent pattern with a push and a pull, and letting the legs just kind of go through an even stride. Trey, how is it feeling with that little bit of lateral motion? As you go forward, I'm hoping that you feel like you can push the ground away with each stride. Absolutely. Good, and that's the value of working more muscles in a frontal plane rather than everything just going forward, backward. Now, my friends, you've got about 30 seconds left. Do you feel like you could take it up just slightly with your speed? You got your resistance dialed in. If the answer is yes, go for it right here. I think that's the perfect opportunity. We got 20 short seconds, and then we're going to move out of circuit 2 and into circuit 3. Looking good, looking good. We've got 10 seconds here. The change coming up is that we're going to change our direction. We're going to go reversed again, trying to get some different muscles in our legs in 3, 2, 1. Let's take that moment to reverse the direction. So now we have the arrows pointing in the opposite direction as we move through this section. I want you to take your resistance down. My friends, we're coming back to a resistance of 1. Remember, this is our active recovery period. And my coach always told me, active recovery, it's the highest quality work you could do while still feeling like your heart rate comes down a little bit. So while you're working out at home, I want you to feel like you get back to that intensity where you could talk easily, you could take a nice long inhale, exhale, and you're really excited about what's coming up in the rest of circuit 3. We're going to spout in about another 25 seconds here. You should feel like you're in kind of that fat burning zone, and the effort level is kind of easy or moderate. That's going to change a little bit because in 15 seconds, we're going to continue our pattern, and we're going to take our resistance from a level 1 up to a level 2. Now, what we talked about earlier is that level 2 is a suggestion. It is not a requirement. If you feel like you're already working really hard, keep it where it is. But if you're ready for it, if you want a little bit of a challenge, let's take it up to level 2 right now with our resistance. All right, guys, I see that you're ready. I see that you're ready to work. And the cool thing about this workout is that there are a lot of repeats to it, right? We're just doing gradual progressions and steps. So our goal today is to master the slight edge of getting better. Just a little bit away to challenge you with each extra step that we take. Don't feel like you have to do a big step forward with your intensity, just those small incremental measurements. We're going to continue with our legs moving forward. Our hands are still high on those handlebars. We're about to move into that endurance phase. My friends, are you guys ready to take the resistance up? Ready. All right, let's go right now. We're at level 3. We have our hands high. We're moving forward with our motion. And you guys are working on that full body push and pull. Now, with our resistance at its highest spot, what I'd love for you to try and do, create a little bit more tension for the next couple strides with your arms. And see if you can create a forward and backward push and pull to almost create a little bit more tension through the abdominal muscles. That upper body motion can actually utilize all of those core muscles. And your core muscles are what connects your rib cage to your hips. Those muscles can be engaged the more you push and pull. You guys look great. We have about 30 seconds left. Then we'll be moving out of circuit 3 and into circuit 4. Here's the good news for you guys here and you guys at home. When we get into circuit 4, the resistance is going to come down. So if you feel like you're pushing, don't worry. You're right where you need to be, and you only have 15 seconds left here. That's it. Great job. Less than 10 seconds to go. We're going to change our direction one more time with our feet. We're also going to change our hand position coming up in 3, 2, 1. Take your resistance down to 1. Take your motion with your legs, reverse it. And let's start to go a little bit lower with our hand position. Now on the LX3, you have a couple different positions that you can go to. You can slide anywhere down on that rubber handle, or you can even go lower if it helps you drop your shoulder blades down. The goal with that lower hand position is to get the shoulders away from the ears and allow yourself a little bit more room to open up the lungs with each breath that you take. On the LX5, you can go with an inside low position, or Katie, if you ever feel like it's more comfortable, you can always go a little bit wider as well. Here's what I love about the low handlebar position. This, for me, is where I get to pull really effectively, fluidly, and efficiently. So this is where you get to involve all those lat muscles, all those back muscles that sometimes get a little neglected because everything's out in front. This is where we get to pull back. Here's the great thing. Coming up, we're going to take up your resistance while you're here. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's do that right now. We're at a resistance of 2, or remember, you've had a couple experiences here. If you want to take the resistance up even more, go right ahead. This is your workout. So as we have been doing, let's spend 1 minute here. And 1 minute is that optimal duration where you feel like you might get a little uncomfortable, but right at that spot where you're getting uncomfortable, it's probably almost done. And my friends, we are working our way through our 4th circuit, meaning we get to do it all over again. The good news, coming up, we're halfway. The bad news, we're only halfway. Only halfway. I want that second half to eventually be even stronger than the first half. So as you finish up this one, get ready to go to your 3rd resistance and your last minute in this 4th circuit. You know when we go there, that's the spot to feel like you start to test that anaerobic zone just a little bit. We're there in less than 10 seconds. You're going to take your resistance up to a level 3 in 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're there right now. Last minute of your 4th circuit. Now, at this point, I want you to start to question just a little bit if you could go faster or if you could maybe go a little bit harder with your resistance. And here's the cool thing on the LX5, if you even want to change the width or the amount of lateral motion you have, you can do that as well. This is where I want you to make it all yours. Now, at this point, you should feel just a little bit breathy. So if I came up to you and I wanted to have a conversation, it would be as much as you telling me, I feel good, and that's probably about all the conversation you want to have. That's perfect. We got 20 seconds here, and then we're going to rinse and repeat. Everything we've done so far, we're going to do again. Hold strong, everybody. We got 10 solid seconds here. That's it. Now, coming up, we're going to go back to our circuit 1, but we're going to reverse the direction again. I'm going to have you guys take your hands to the center. Let's do that right now. Take your resistance down to level 1. Reverse the direction of your stride. Keep your hands centered. Do you remember this burn we had at the beginning of the workout? You know what the cool thing is? Now I got a lot more work going into this burn. So if you remember how you sat back really well last time, Trey, I want you to do the exact same thing. And if you guys are watching at home, what I would look for as Trey's coach or Katie's coach, how close can they keep that belly button in position the entire time? If that's all you're watching, can you keep it still? You're trying to, aren't you, Katie? And you're noticing that difference at home if you're doing it as well. That really puts a big burn on your legs. Now, here's your challenge coming up in about 15 seconds. We're going to keep your hands in the center. We're going to keep moving forward, but we're going to up the resistance a little bit. You're going to go to a resistance of 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that resistance up. We're at a level 2, and you feel that difference right there. Now, on the LX5, again, as we go through this second half, if you want to, you have the opportunity to change that width. That is the value of that piece of equipment. So as you push away more, you start to engage those muscles we call your gluteus medius, all those abductor muscles. We can work them really, really well here. All right, I can tell from the breathing. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I certainly can. They're starting to push a little bit. They're fitness professionals and they're working right now. But that's going to get even more challenging. Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're going to go resistance 3. This is the minute that they remembered out of the entire first half of our workout. I want this to be the minute that you're going to own in this second half of our workout. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Take that resistance up right now. Stay down low. Find that spot for me. No, more importantly, find that spot for you where you want to stop, but you don't quite have to. Have that little conversation in your head and then push right through that spot. If you guys are following along at home, I want that same experience for you. I want you to feel like you are burning here. Your legs are on fire. Your glutes, they feel like they might fall off. And then I want you to do it anyway. We've got about 30 seconds. Hold strong. I know you can do this. That's it. That's it. All right, now here's my challenge for you. I want you to be a little bit brave here. I know I've been asking for a lot of challenges, but I'm going to ask you to be brave with them. In the last 15 seconds, can you take your speed up, still stay in that breathy zone, but feel like you work just a little bit harder? Can we do that right now with 15 seconds to go? Maybe 1 or 2 extra strides. That's it. That's it. Now here's the good news. Coming up, the resistance is going to back off in 4, 3, 2, 1. Change the direction of your stride. Bring the resistance down and take your hands up high. That's right. That was the exact sound that I imagined I was going to get coming out of that. Now remember, this is active recovery, right? Active recovery is the best quality work you can do while still feeling like your heart rate comes down a little bit. So let's do this. Take a big breath in through your nose and a nice long exhale through your mouth. Can you guys do that for me? Big breath in through your nose and a nice long breath out through your mouth. Try that one more time, and this time when you exhale, drop your shoulders down just a little bit lower. Because we want to be in that fat burning zone, that easy to moderate type of intensity. That spot where you catch your breath a little bit more, and you feel like it could be a little bit more conversational. Now, I don't know about you. I don't like to do anything for just 30 minutes. I like to break it up in short intervals. So this idea of 1 minute, that's perfect for me. And we're going to change it up in this next minute. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, same motion, same position with your hands. Give me an extra 1 on your resistance. So now we should be up at level 2. And this type of workout for me, I like to call this breaking up fitness ADD. We all have some type of ADD most likely in our lives. This idea of 1 minute intervals really does break that up really, really well. So hopefully you feel, as you're entering the second half of your workout, like time's starting to fly by. You're knowing the pattern because we went through it the first time, and now we're starting to perfect that pattern a little bit more. As we go through this circuit here, we've got about 1 more minute coming up. We're going to take it from level 2 to level 3, meaning we're going to get out of that moderate or easy intensity. That endurance type of effort level is what's coming up next. We're about 10 seconds away. Can you grab 1 more of those big inhales and exhales before we take that resistance up? Perfect. We're there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's finish up circuit 2 with a level 3 resistance and the hands up high. That's it. Now, if you could see these athletes the way I get to see them, I'm starting to notice that their posture, this is perfect. We've got head over top of hips, so almost like a vertically stacked spine. And what that allows for in these endurance workouts is it gives the lungs a lot of room to expand with a long inhale and exhale. And at this spot, in this type of endurance effort level, it should feel like you're just a little bit breathy. So controlling your breathing consciously is paramount. And the best way to control your breathing is the right type of posture. You guys have about another 20 seconds here. You're making this look perfect. We're about to close out circuit number 2, and we're going to move into circuit number 3. As we go into that coming up, we're going to reverse the direction of your stride while still keeping your hands up high as we did earlier today. We're there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's change that up right now. Take that second and just reestablish how your feet are going to feel on those pads. And there really is no right or wrong way with your feet on the pads as long as it feels comfortable. You might be toed out slightly at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock with your toes, and that's a great place to be. You might be straight ahead at 12 o'clock. Either way, create it so that your alignment matches the alignment on the machine as best possible. Now, as we moved our way into this third circuit, our resistance should be back down. We should be at level 1. If you haven't changed it yet, please do that now. And I want you guys to feel like your heart rate is coming down moderately. We have 2 more minutes in this circuit coming up where we'll do that little bump to resistance 2 and resistance 3. Find that spot for you that allows you to eventually feel just a little breathy, continuing to work on that endurance. We're there in less than 10 seconds. Let's get ready for it in 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go right now. We're up at resistance 2, hands up high, still working on circuit number 2 here. Now we're starting to approach the end of our workout. Today's workout had a lot of components to it, and we are nearing the finish line. I want you to think in your mind, you can start to see that finish line, but you're not close enough to put your sprint in just yet. When we enter that 4th circuit, that's where we might start to work for it just a little bit harder. So we've got 1 more resistance coming up. And I want you to start to make a conscious decision in your mind. Is resistance 3 really going to be the right spot that takes you just a little breathy? How it feels personally is more important than any number. The number just gives a little bit of feedback, that's all. So coming up in 15 seconds, if resistance 3 is right, do it. If it's higher, do it. Or maybe you stay at level 2. All of those are great solutions as long as you get just a little bit breathy for 1 minute. We're there in 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to take it to a resistance of 3. My friends, let's get ready and attack this 3rd minute of this 3rd circuit. We're still going forward, so our arrows should be pointing up, correct? Yep. And this should be feeling like we're just getting a little bit breathy. Now, this is the calm before the storm, because coming up, we have our 4th and final circuit of the day. So we are at that spot where the finish line is in sight, and we're going to go get it. We're not going to run to the finish line. In that 4th circuit, we're going to run through the finish line. So I want you to be here where you're having that nice lateral motion, creating a space that feels right for the abductors to be working, but still challenging the arms the entire time. You guys have found that motion where it's a combination of both a push and a pull, creating a little bit of that tension through the core as well. We have less than 15 seconds here, and then we're going to bring our resistance down, and we're going to change our direction as we move into our 4th circuit. Let's get ready to make those adjustments in 5, 4, 3, 2. Great job on that 3rd circuit, everybody. Now we're going to change it up as we move into our 4th circuit. The first thing I want you guys to do is change your foot stride pattern. So we're going to go reverse now. So what we should be seeing is that the arrows start to point down. After you've done that, let's go low on our handlebars, and then let's change the resistance and bring it down to 1. Remember, this is our active recovery section. This is our opportunity to catch a couple deep breaths and get ready for those last couple minutes. Now, as you're here, since the hands have dropped down, can you actually sink the shoulder blades down a little bit? Think about the space between your ears and your shoulders. How big can you make that space? The bigger space we have between our ears and our shoulders, the more relaxation we have in our traps, the deeper breath we can take. And we want that deep breath because in about 20 seconds, the resistance is going to come up. You're going to keep your hands low, and we're going to take our resistance to level 2. Now, here's my challenge for you guys here and all of you at home. When we take that resistance up, since our hands are low, start to pull a little bit more with your arms, really engaging those lats. We're there in 3, 2, 1. There's 2 minutes of this workout left. Find that right resistance for you where it starts to amp up just a little bit more. That's it. Great job, everybody. You guys starting to think about the finish line just a little bit more? Good. It's almost here. And let's see if we can start to really push away. If you're on the LX3, I want you to feel like you get to the outside of that motion and almost like you're trying to push the ground away from you. Same thing on the LX5. You just have the opportunity to create that angle that's best for you. Now, we've got about 30 seconds here, and then we hit our final minute of our workout. After our workout, we get to cool down, but I want you to earn that cool down. So in our last minute coming up, we find breathy with the perfect resistance. We did all this practice. Let's make it perfect performance at the end. We'll keep our hands low. We'll keep our stride going backward. We'll find that perfect resistance that dials it in best for you. We're there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go right now. What is that resistance that allows you to finish this workout off better than you started it? There you go, there you go. And remember, that finish line, it's not something we go to, but we go through. So I want you to envision that finish line and crossing through as fast and efficient as you possibly can. Coming up, you're gonna have less than 30 seconds. And if you've got anything left in the tank to keep you in that slightly breathy zone, I want it at that spot. If that means a little bit more speed, I want you to do it. If it means a little bit more resistance, as long as you're staying in that moderate work, just a little breathy, I want you to do that. We're there right now, my friends. As a matter of fact, there are only 20 seconds left. Find that perfect spot for you that's just a little breathy and allows you to finish this strong and proud. Oh, you guys are doing great. Come on, finish it up. We've got less than 10. As a matter of fact, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop it down. And here we get to go into our cool down. So in our cool down, we're gonna do 3 minutes. And there's a couple things that I want you guys to do at home. I want you to reverse your direction. I want you to take your stride forward, and therefore the arrows on your screen should be up. Now, as you do this, please take your resistance down as low as you can. And choose a hand position that feels right for you. We've had the opportunity to experience an experiment with center. We went up high, we went down low, and we want to go to that spot right now that allows us to have as efficient a posture as we possibly can to get the heart rate as low as we possibly can. Now, the cool down is just as important as the warm up and the workout are. And as a matter of fact, your workout is never done until your cool down is over. This is what gets you ready for your next workout, as a matter of fact. So as we spend our time here, I want you to feel like your heart rate comes down really gradually. You're gonna spend about another minute here in an easy to moderate type of intensity with your resistance at a maximum of 2. And maybe what you can do during this time is take a moment and reflect on how the last 28 minutes went. Was there a moment in there where it felt like it got a little tough? They're sweating. I can see it. I'm sure you are at home. Did we have one of those moments where we said, I don't know if I can keep doing this? And yet we ended up on the backside of the workout feeling great and looking great. So what you can do in this moment is think about what drove you to move past that spot. We want to condition our minds as well as our bodies, so every workout that we do gets just a little bit better. Now, coming up in 15 seconds, we're going to reverse the direction of our stride. You're going to take it from going forward, and then we're going to move backward. So the arrows on your screen are going to start to point down. We're going to go there in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, my friends, in our last minute, we're going to change the direction with our feet. We're going to go reverse, which means the arrow should be pointing down on your monitor. You guys do that here. Make sure that your resistance is low. This is not the time to be working. We did that in the last 29 minutes. This is the time to be bringing your heart rate down in a slow, controlled fashion. And the best way to bring your heart rate down is with appropriate breathing. And the best way to grab a deep breath is in through the nose and out through the mouth. So I'm going to treat you like I do all of my athletes. I want you to do 2 of those right now. A long inhale through your nose and a nice long exhale through your mouth. And do that one more time, but be very conscious when you exhale through your mouth, drop your shoulders a little bit lower. We have our hands in any of those positions that just feels comfortable, and we are riding on our victory lap right now. And a victory is absolutely what that was in that workout. We went 30 minutes strong. It was structured, it was focused, and we are going to be ready for our next workout back here on the LateralX. My name is Wes. I'll look forward to seeing you guys again at the start of your next workout.